Welcome back to Desire to Inspire, Shamama's favorite podcast. I'm here. I just realized Freddie's rocking the new hoodie. I
Yes,
like
sir.
that,
New
dude.
merch, baby.
And we're here with a freak of nature. We got Adam Sikora, went from Strongman to Iron Man, back to Strongman, dude. What's up?
What's
What's
going
up,
on,
guys?
Adam?
Thanks for having me on here today. Love the show. Love what you guys are building. It's an honor to be on here to talk to you guys.
Oh, dude, I'm pumped. We've been literally trying to coordinate this for like months now, and
I know.
it was like, let's push it back till after you finish the Iron Man. Now we're like a whole month later now, but we finally made it happen.
Finally making it happen. Took us the right time. We're good. Able to process the Iron Man, get through some stuff, and get back into lifting a little bit. And it feels good. My body's kind of confused, but it feels good to get back into lifting. Still keeping some cardio and endurance stuff in there, but it's like I'm slowly getting back to where I was.
Dude, I haven't ran in months. I think you might be able to outrun me right now.
I haven't ran in months either, bro.
You literally ran a marathon less than a month ago. Or about a month ago, I guess.
We'll get into that when we talk about the Ironman. You'll hear more, what
All right.
happened in the actual run. And I found out very quick, most endurance races, people walk a lot more than what you think. So it was
Yeah.
good. I fit in very well.
There you go. So you back in Indy now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Back in Indy, I'm living in Broad Ripple. I know you're, pretty familiar with the area. Freddie, I'm not sure if you're too familiar with Indy or the area around there, but it's about 10, 15 minutes out of, the center city in Indy.
Okay.
I live about 20 or 25 minutes outside of Philadelphia. So it's kind of weird to see the dynamics of the city change, right? I'm used to Philly. It's crazy. It's a lot bigger. You can walk for an hour and a half, 2 hours and still be in Philly. You can walk around Indy in like, a half hour, 45 minutes. And
Yeah.
so I love it. I like, it's a lot calmer, people are a lot nicer in the Midwest than what they are in the Northeast. But yeah, pretty good change. And I'm loving it so far. So I moved here early September. September 12th is my first day here. Been here for, 3 months now?
Damn, that's a long time, dude.
It's crazy.
Like it doesn't seem like it's that long. Yeah, because I feel like we were just talking right before the move, and it doesn't feel like it was that long ago that you guys were out here. That's crazy, actually.
Yeah,
Is that your
we're in Colorado hanging at the conference, and now we're here. So it's crazy. It all came full circle.
That's wild. Is that your first time moving away from your hometown?
Oh, dude, it's the best decision I made in my entire life.
Yeah.
It's the people. I miss my family, obviously, but it's just I've grown so much in the past 3 months. It's just like astronomical. I wouldn't have had any opportunities I have now. I wouldn't have had a quarter of the growth I would have had now if I wasn't away from New Jersey for a little bit. And, who knows where I end up. I'm not sure if I'll stay in Indy forever. I love it here, but it's a little bit slow. Who knows what happens? I'm just taking it day by day, seeing where I am. And, who knows? Maybe I end up back on the East Coast sometime in my life. But for now, I love Indy. I love the area. And just the move in general has been huge for me. I've been wanting to move out of Jersey for a while. Finish up college at the beginning of the year this year. And I was like, you know what? I got to make a move. So it was either out to here or I was thinking about going out to Arizona. Going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I settled on Indy for a couple of reasons. One is because the community here is awesome. I know Dylan knows, Indy is a really special place. You got an awesome squad here. I got Zach here. I got Donatelli here. I got, Jose, all the guys from IVB, Barbell. And then it's just enough distance from New Jersey to where if something bad happens, I can be home in 9 hours. Whereas if I was in Arizona, I would have to take flights home. I have to, it would be a whole hassle to get home. So my parents are getting older, family's getting older. I want to be able to get back and forth if I have to pretty quick, but it's also a good distance where I don't have to be home if I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I miss is being within driving distance. I mean, technically it's driving distance, but it's a 17-hour driving distance. So
yeah,
I don't think
driving distance.
Hey, anywhere's driving distance if we try enough.
That's facts. I just moved from Dallas to North Carolina because it's closer to home. And so it's like a 8-hour drive, I think now, versus a 17 and a half, 18-hour drive from Dallas. But
now I gotta ask a very important question here.
All right, let's hear it.
This is big. This is if I like you or I like you a little bit. Are you a Cowboys fan?
Hell no.
Good. Very good. Thank you. I'm a huge Eagles fan, all Philly sports, and I don't like Dallas, so I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, no, I
said
moved
hell
there.
no.
I said that with a very much assertiveness, so
Good.
that could have
I
ended really
respect you a
bad for
lot
me.
now. I like you a lot more.
But yeah, I moved out there, and there was definitely people that were trying to influence me to change my team because I lived out there now. Oh, you've been here more than a year, you can be a fan. I was like, there ain't no way. One, I'm a Browns
No
fan,
way.
so heart wrenching, but I'm fucking faithful. I'm loyal. I stay true to my fan base.
You're a
And the
loyal
only
guy.
loyal guy, and that's what nobody can take away from me. And so, the one thing that I will say that I adopted moving to Texas, one, I say y'all way too fucking much now,
Bro, I said
and
that in Ohio.
Yeah, I
but
say
like
that everywhere.
I say it so much now, it's ridiculous. And then I also became a Stars fan, their hockey team, just because Cleveland like never had one. I didn't watch it growing
Yeah, they
up.
didn't have hockey teams yet.
That's the one sport I
yeah.
picked up
Stars,
out here too.
the Stars are pretty good, and the
Yeah.
Avalanche are really good. I can't say the same about the Flyers because they're not very good, but it's fun. It's a fun time out there. I'll definitely give you that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. But like you said, man, I preach on here all the fucking time that I think it should be a law. Everybody has to move away from their hometown for at least a year because of all you learn. So I would love to have you back on a year from now just to see after this 3 months what you learn in this next 9. Because it's just like it goes in waves because there's going to be something that happens back home that you miss or something happens and you're like, fuck, it would be nice to like be home for that. And it'll get you in your feels or whatever you want to call it. And then you'll hit this high again. And it's just a roller coaster. But at the end of the day, you look back and you're like, I would have never met these people. I would have never got these experiences. I would have never been motivated to continue doing what I want to do. And so I think it should be mandatory for everybody to do it just so they can see what it's like, but go back home if you want to.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that. And it's just, I've been thinking about it, and it's a hard decision to make. I know both you guys have moved pretty far away from home, and that's like it's a big deal. You tell your family you're moving, 500, 600, 1,000 miles away from home. Like they're gonna try and talk you out of it. Your friends are gonna try and talk you out of it, and people get stuck in that kind of like hometown mindset almost. And I feel like it's possible to grow there, right? It's not impossible to not grow there, but it's a lot harder to grow in somewhere where everybody kind of has that like ideal of what you're supposed to be, right? Everybody sees you as the kid they grew up with, the kid in high school, the kid who partied in college, the kid who did this, did that. And as soon as you try to start doing something different, it's just like everybody's got something to say, whether it's good, whether it's bad. And it's like you can do your best to stay away from it, but going to the gas station, you might see somebody you grew up with. And it's just like that kind of brings that back into your brain. You can go to the grocery store, see somebody you grew up with, or somebody who, you used to hang out with a lot or party with, or like just somebody you weren't in the past. And that just brings you back to where you were. Whereas out here, it's like, if I'm not doing something to get better out here, my friends are like, what are you doing? Like, start doing something, like do more. They push me in that side. Whereas back at home, if I was trying to do anything different, I was training people, I was building my online business up. I was different than what most people were. And I was like a little bit, just different, not like weird or whatever, but everyone has something to say. I'm like, oh, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Why is he trying to get better? Whereas out here, like I said, if I'm not getting better, people call me out on it. So I love that aspect.
Let's kind of get into the business side of it a little bit. So like in New Jersey, you were training people and like you were doing that kind of thing. What kind of pushed you to take that route that everybody else wasn't going to take?
So, long story short, throughout high school, I was athletic. I played football, baseball, lacrosse, wrestled a little bit. I was athletic my whole entire childhood. I always played sports, but I was always heavy. I was always overweight. I was always a fat kid. That went throughout high school. I'm like, I was really good at football. I was, looking at some schools to play at, some, high D2, low, maybe even D1 schools. I was an offensive tackle, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and I was good. I went to one of the better high schools in New Jersey, won a couple of state titles with them, and I started my junior. I played a lot my sophomore year, then I started my junior year, and then first game of senior year, I got a really, really bad concussion. So that was my third concussion I got, knocked me out. And I took a step back and I decided just to not play anymore. My doctors wouldn't clear me. My family was kind of iffy about me playing, so I decided not to play anymore. And like I said, I was always athletic. I lifted. I was strong. And then after that happened, I just like gave up lifting and working out. Like I'd work out the football team, but I didn't really care much. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm done sports. I don't have to, lift a lot anymore. And then just kind of went off. That was the beginning of my senior year. Throughout my senior year, happens, whatever. Graduated high school. All my friends moved far away to college. So I had friends go to Penn State. I had friends go more north to Rutgers, Westchester University, just like away from my hometown. And I ended up going to community college right around the corner for me. So I was kind of alone, and I was like, hey, I looked myself in the mirror, and I was like I hate myself. I hate what I'm looking at. I got to do something about it. And it was my goal just to, like, when my friends came back for, their Christmas break, I wanted to be unrecognizable. I wanted to be a whole new person. And so I started the first week of my freshman year of college. I was like 315, 320 pounds. And then when everybody came home around Christmas time, I was like 230, 240. Like I lost 78 pounds in like,
that's real fast.
Yeah, real fast.
Yeah.
Like 6 months.
I mean, you're also like 18, so it's like
like
prime
my
time to get that
schedule
shit going.
was like, and I already had a lot of muscle. I mean, I was already strong, and I literally had nothing else to do. I was working at Chick-fil-A at the time, so I was in a schedule where I would wake up, either go to the gym or go to school, depending on what my class schedule was. Go to the gym before work, make all my meals, go work, sleep, do the same exact thing. So I didn't really do anything. I didn't really make any new friends or anything my freshman year. And like my schedule was like regimen. I didn't eat anything different. I actually remember like on Thanksgiving, I tried to eat like Thanksgiving food and different foods. And my stomach hurt for like the whole entire day. I was out, and I was like, this sucks. I can't even eat any like different food now. So I was very, very strict with everything. I was doing cardio for like 45 minutes to an hour almost every day. I would lift for like 2-3 hours a day. All I was doing was working, going to school, and working out. Like I had no social life. And I think on one side, that is a great way to get started. I know it sucks, but if you really want to make like a good change real quick, and you really have anything else to do, that's the best way to do it. Just lock in, zone in, and go after it. So leading into that, I got, really strong. I lost a lot of weight. I got down to like 205. Or like
damn, good shit.
Dude, I can't even picture you at 205.
Oh, dude, I gotta send you pictures, dude. I was like, you ever see Men in Black?
Yeah.
Those like cockroach looking like guys.
Yeah.
Like that's what I look like. Like that's what I felt. My head is huge. Like I have like the biggest head. Like my hat is on my left corner right here. It's about to pop. I have a big ass head, so like a bobblehead. It was just like it was bad. So I got really skinny, and then I was like, I want to get strong again. Like I want to get jacked. So I started lifting again. I found a buddy of mine who I'm super close with still. You guys maybe have seen him online. My man Ian Smith. I worked at Tillis Gym. We opened up against all the COVID bullshit, whatever. Good friend to him. This is when he like just started off training people. So I found him on Instagram, started training with him, hired him as my coach, and then started working out with him. And at that time, I was in school at the time for exercise science and physiology, and I was like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. And he offered to me, he said, hey, if you get your certification, you start learning some stuff, you can start training people in my facility here. So it was like a small 500-600 square foot facility, had like a squat rack, had some dumbbells, had one cable machine and some kettlebells, like nothing fancy or anything. So I was like, all right, cool, let's just start training people. So I started training people, built my book up pretty good. I was charging like $10, $15 a session. Like I was grinding there, dude. I was working like
just to get some people in.
Yep.
Just get people in the door. Just grinding there. Not making a crazy amount of money, but just like it was cool to be able to train people and make money for it. Like, wow, I can help out people make money for it, train people. At the time, I recently gotten a job at a restaurant, food running and serving. Eventually, I work up the bartender. But so it opened up most of my day because I wouldn't go into work until like 5 at night. So I would wake up early, train my morning clients, go to school, middle of the day, train myself, do whatever, go to school, get all my stuff done, have my afternoon, evening clients, and then go right to work at night. So that was the same exact thing. I would just work, and learned a ton. I learned a lot on how to train people with very minimal equipment. Right, a lot of people go into gyms that are fully stocked. They have everything. I had to work with a barbell, a couple dumbbells, like 1 or 2 cable attachments.
You gotta get creative.
Very creative. So I really learned like the base of my coaching and just like training movements and training like movement patterns of the body instead of training like muscles. Like I was very big on that, like learning how to move your body in the right way. and figuring out form. So alongside with that, at the time, I started getting connected with Zach Hommel and Jay Azotine. I hired Jay for nutrition. I remember I found him online somehow and hired Jay for nutrition. He was the first like online coach that I hired.
Bro, he was my first online coach too. He told me at the conference, he was like, dude, you were my first client. I was like, that's insane to even think about.
Damn.
Go. Yeah, like so like I hired him. He was charging like $50 a month for nutrition coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, he's in the jungle, leading ayahuasca trips. Like I love it. Like just like the evolution of that. Like I love Jay so much. He really taught me so much. He's opened up so many doors for me. So I really started getting connected with Jay and with Zach. And eventually I kind of outgrew, the training style I was doing with Ian. And I saw how strong Zach was. And like I was like, I gotta hire this guy. Like I connected with him, hired him for online coaching, strength coaching.
What year was this?
2016, 2017.
Okay.
Like just as he opened up IVB. Like I was following him for a while. I think I hired him probably 6 months after he opened up IVB. So that maybe like early on, like 2016, 2017.
It was definitely 16 or 17 then.
Yeah, very early on. So I hired him for strength coaching. And dude, I used to study his YouTube like religiously. Like break down to the squat, the bench, the deadlift. And I just learned so much from him. And, just throughout the years, just learned as much as I could from Zach, learned as much as I could from Jay, and just the whole entire squad we have going on here. And that just kind of led me. I finished college, finished with a degree in exercise physiology. And I was just like, I have no idea what I want to do with it. I'm already training a lot of people. And this was right around like when the COVID stuff was just getting done. So I was like, I saw the guys doing all online, and I was like, I could take my business online. So at that point, the gym I was at, we had opened up during all the COVID restrictions. Great, I loved it, but it got super political very, very, very fast. And it's just like not my vibe. Like I hate politics.
Yeah.
I've always hated politics. It's just like when you're there 40, 50, 60 hours a week around politics all day, it just takes a toll on your brain. You don't want to be there. My training started to plummet. Some of my clients just were getting annoyed because it was just like in your face, like always. So I just didn't like it anymore. And I was like, I pretty much scrapped my whole entire in-person business. I told my clients, I probably had a book of 30 people plus. I was like, hey, look, if you guys want to come online, you can. If not, I'll hand you off to another coach here, whatever you want to do. I ended up only getting like 1 or 2 people who stayed with me online after that. So
wow.
Yeah, so pretty much had to scrap my whole entire business. It kind of sucked, but luckily I saw another job. I was bartending at the time, making good money. So I was able to lean on that a lot. And was bartending 5, 6 days a week and just building out the online business. I didn't have a lot of clients to start up. And starting in January of this year was really when I actually went like all in on online. I stopped doing in-person stuff as much. I had people here and there kind of hit me up for in-person coaching. And then January this year, I just started, going all in on the online stuff. So slowly but surely started to build up a book of people, a couple guys here and there asking for programs, doing this. I know you guys are, building out the social media. So learning how to really run social media well. And that's kind of where I segued into working with Zach more. So he started off as my strength coach. And then now he's kind of coaching me in business and social media stuff and just learning from Zach. And just all the guys who have in a little community on Twitter has been huge for me. Just connecting with them and just staying consistent with it and building it out, through there. And then, things just kind of slowed down a little bit over the summer, as usually do with, training and coaching. And I was like, look, I'm done college. I don't know what to do. I got to move out of Jersey. And I just took a chance on myself and said, I'm going to move to Indy. I remember having a text conversation with Donatelli and Zach. Said I was coming to Indy, made a decision, signed my lease, and I was out of here. And then ever since then, it's just been growing, building my online stuff and just building the base. I have a handful of in-person clients I have here. Definitely want to grow that a little bit more throughout this year because I really do enjoy in-person coaching. It's just, where I was wasn't really the best for it. But I know out here I can definitely make a good impact with the people out here and just build up the online brand as I slowly build up the online coaching brand and in-person stuff. And just keep going from there. So I have a ton of knowledge to give to people. I just want to, help people out and coach them the best I can.
That's dope, man. Do you know, you brought up the videos that you used to watch religiously of Zach, and I know Dylan's brought them up quite a bit just with him and I talking. Do you know if he still has that repository somewhere, if it's still out there for people to view?
I'm not sure.
I think they're
Okay.
down. I mean, he's probably got them like unlisted, but I don't think that they're posted anymore.
Because
Yeah.
I've heard so
I
much
think they're
great
on
things
the
about him that I was like, I would love to check those out just to even see what he was doing back then to make such an impact on a ton of people that I've met
yeah.
through Dylan.
Yeah, he's the smartest person I've ever met when it
He's
comes
like
to
very technical with his lifting.
yeah. Like I remember I would send him a video of my squat or deadlift or bench. And like I'd be like, yeah, this is like perfect and everything perfect. And he would like slow it down to like frame by frame and be like, all right, look, your elbow moved a half inch right there. Do this exercise and focus on this. And I would add 25 pounds to my lift the next week. Like
Damn.
crazy stuff. Yeah. So he's very, very smart. And I've learned as much as I can from him. So I just really just became a sponge. I would have like full on notebooks full of like notes from like things I learned, how to develop different weaknesses, how to spot different weaknesses. So I'm very big on weakness development. So like if somebody is lifting, I have everybody send me videos whenever I, work with them. And I just break them down. I say, hey, look, this is what's happening here. This is what's happening here. And I adjust their program and add proper accessory stuff to what, to fix it. So that's really the biggest stuff that I learned. And yeah, Zach is like the by far the smartest person I've met when it comes to lifting and leverages. And most of the online world doesn't even know that. Like he's literally like the Elon Musk of the gym, honestly. Like I don't even know how to explain. Like he's like the smartest person I ever met, and most of the people online don't even know like a tenth of a percent of what he knows. Like
he's just shifted his focus so much that like back in 2016, 2017, that was the only thing like that anyone knew him as, was like this technical lifter. And he was also competing back then, so he's setting world records and all this shit. And then like he transitions into like this whole more like mindset and like discipline shit. And now no one even know, especially since he transitioned into like Ironman and endurance stuff. Everybody just it's easy to not even think about like the other stuff he's done. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's so much great that he's done, and it's just awesome to like be a part of now, because I was a part of it virtually for a little bit. I was always like in the system. I was really good friends with him for years leading up to this. Now it's like I'm in it, I'm a part of it, and it's just like it feels really cool to like, be in it and be able to have the opportunity to work with him, live 20 minutes with him, hang out a lot, and just learn as much as I can. Like it's just like it's a blessing in itself, and just moving to Indy just like honestly just for that is worth it. Like I'm learning so much, just the opportunities to just work with like I think the people that we kind of have in our circle are some of the best in the world, like at what they do. And it's just really cool just to work with people like that and meet people like you guys and just, have that opportunity more to go on that too.
What are some of your, now that you transitioned to like an online social media type presence, moving away from your hometown, all of these things that you're doing to elevate and get closer to those goals or the dreams or whatever you want to build, what are some of the non-negotiables that you put in place like day in and day out that you have to do X, Y, and Z every day or every week in order to keep progressing so that we don't fall backwards?
So non-negotiables for me is I'm very big on spreadsheets now. I used to hate spreadsheets. I'm very big on spreadsheets. So every morning while I'm making my coffee, while I'm hanging out, I usually wake up anywhere, between 4:30 and 5:30 every morning. I try to stick to that pretty religiously in the morning. And like the first hour I'm up, I'm kind of unwinding, waking up. I just run through the spreadsheet of all my clients and just check in on like all their programs, shoot them a text, if they need it, checking all their stuff. So I run through them every single day. After that, quick little stretch, up me up. And like, I don't do anything crazy or special. I don't do like that 50-step morning routine. Like I wake up, get my coffee in me, and I just get to work. I work, work until I kind of lose that, like, like when you get like that push, you're working, you're in the zone, and you kind of fall out of that. Yep. I work until I kind of fall out of that zoned in mode, and then I go train, whether that's, lifting, running, biking. We usually train around like 7:30 every morning. Me, Mike, and Zach have gotten in the groove of doing that. So I usually get my work done until 7 or so, and then get ready to train. So right around 7 is when I kind of fall off and, kind of feel my brain getting mushy. So I'll go through all my clients, run through them, kind of feed into them for like the first couple hours of the day while everybody's getting up for work, getting up early, kind of hype my guys up, send them some encouraging messages in the morning, do my thing, and then, go online to social media, either start tweeting a little bit, posting stuff on Instagram. I'm trying to get a little bit more on the TikTok. I'm not really sure how to do it much, but just kind of, spreading out my social media more. Just like learning it, dude. I've like, I tell people all the time, if I didn't run my business with social media, like I wouldn't even be on here. Like, I enjoy the social aspect, like meeting you guys, but it's like, there's going to come a time when like, I don't need to be online and like, or be online a lot less and kind of just like use it as just like, as fun. But now it's like, I make money on there. I run my business on there. So like, I have to be kind of in it, which, it's good and it's bad. But yeah, so that's my morning. And then during the day is the same thing. So I try to have a very similar schedule almost every day. So I can kind of keep to it like wherever I am. So afternoon training, I'll eat, get a lot of water in me, and then usually after I eat, I'll either go for a walk or get right back into work, depending on what I have to get done. So get into some work, walk through a coffee shop. I have a coffee shop about 5 minutes from me, so I walk down there frequently. Just kind of change my setting a little bit. So that's like my afternoon, same exact thing, getting to work. And then my evenings are either hang, relax, do whatever, or just, like I said, just like, start, a lot of projects working right now. I have like 4 or 5 different things that are like loose ends. So just working on them and just kind of allocating my time for them. While also, staying up with my clients, trying to get new clients, more outreach stuff. So I'm learning a ton. Like in the past 3 months, like I've learned more in the past 3 months than what I have ever. So it's like just learning how to budget my time, but also have boundaries with my time. So, I know there's going to be days I don't have to work all day. Like there's going to be things I'm going to do. I'm going to have calls all day. I'm going to have to update programs all day. I'm going to have to go to IVB and shoot videos for 3 or 4 hours a day. And just being able to really, manage my time well like that, and also make sure that all my stuff gets done on the back end. So like we were talking earlier, I'm very big on little notes, like Post-it notes. I keep these with me. So when I'm working, my brain goes 50 miles an hour. Like it's all over the place. Like I don't even know how to keep up with myself. So whenever I have a little tiny like thought that I think is good, I'll write out my Post-it notes, stick it up on my wall, and just like
I need to do that. That's super smart.
I know. I literally am gonna order those.
I have a stack of them right here. If I have a thought, I'll write on here really quick while it's on my brain. I'll put up on the wall and I get back to whatever I'm doing, because I feel like sometimes if I'm working and I have a good thought, I'll just try to build that out really quick and lose all what I was doing in my work, and then neither of them get done. Right. So it's like I need like really focusing on what I need to do and how things work, and just like being focused on what I'm working on. So just
that's the worst part is ideas come like when you're doing other shit. And then I want to grab my phone and type it in. And the next thing I know, I'm just fucking scrolling on Twitter. Like, fuck.
Yep.
I was just going to say.
So I have like when I'm here on my computer right here, I put my phone in the kitchen, and then I have my Post-it note. If I have an idea, Post-it note, write it right on the wall, get back to what I was doing, and just being really intentional with, if I start a project, I finish it like that day or as much as I can that day. Like if it's a big project, it might take a couple of days. But like if it's something I have to do, I start it and I finish it in that one sitting. I sit there and I do it. And just really just blocking out my time. So if I'm working, I'm working. If I'm hanging, I'm hanging. Like I'm not mixing the two, being really smart with that, because I feel like even like when I started, and like even sometimes I fall back into it, like if I have my phone with me or I'm not focused, like I'll be, say I'm working for 3 hours, I'll do like an hour of work and 2 hours of just bullshit. And then whereas I can get the same exact amount of work done in an hour, focused and intentional. So if I spend those 3 hours working, focused, intentional, I get more done, and later in the day I can just hang out and do whatever. So really being smart on separating my time and just blocking out time throughout the day for me, but also work, and then, just balancing that. So it's been awesome. It's been a juggling act, and I'm learning a ton that it's just, you don't really think about it when you're, I'm like, oh, I'm going to move to India and everything's going to be bright and happy and fun. And it's like, you're a month in, you're like, shit, like this is hard. Like it's not as easy as what people make it out to be. It's stressful, but it's worth it. I know years from now it's going to be more than worth it. I'm going to look back on this time and I'm going to enjoy it. So that's really the biggest thing I focus on when things get stressful, when things get hard. I get in the mindset of like, look, like you're going to look back one day and you're going to enjoy these times, right? It's going to be hard. You're going to be like, wow, I did that. Like I was able to fight through that. I was able to get it done. I was able to just like survive and do my thing. And years from now, I'm going to appreciate just what I learned and how I pushed through things back here. And, I just love it.
That's dope. You saying that transitioning to social media, you wouldn't be on it if you didn't have to be. I feel you 1,001,000% on that. But I love the videos that you and Mike make in the gym of like the different workouts and like form and stuff like that.
So much fun because we were away for like a month in Florida for the Ironman. So like, we could film a little bit, but we didn't really film a ton. And then Mike got sick, Zach got sick, and then it was Thanksgiving, so I was away. I came back and I got sick. So it was like almost a month and a half where like we didn't really do much like video content as much as what we should. And now like this past week we got back into it and it's been awesome. Like it's been so much fun just to like learn what works, learn what doesn't work, learn for like I know you guys are doing the same thing. It's just like learning what hits on some apps, doesn't hit on the other apps, and like how long to make stuff and what to make, and just like it's like a big puzzle almost to like figure out like what you should post, and how much you should post. It's just like, figuring it out. It's fun.
Yeah, and as coaches, we want to provide value. So it's like we try to like put these things that are really like well thought out and put together, and nobody views them. And then I put up a dumb video of me just spinning in circles, and the shit goes crazy. And I'm like, okay,
yeah,
like I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing.
It's so frustrating. Like you can give out a ton of value, but you can spend hours writing out a big thread on Twitter, like everything. And I tweeted the other day who were going to fight a gorilla or a grizzly bear. Dude, I had like 500,000 impressions on it in like 6 seconds. Like it took me 2 seconds to make and just bullshit in the comments. And I literally write a whole entire thread on how to deadlift or pick up an Atlas stone or whatever, and it gets like 2 likes. So it's like, but I like that kind of stuff. It shows people we can give great value. We're smart, but also we can put our personality and stuff.
Yeah,
fun.
There's a human aspect to it.
Yeah. So like, I think that's the biggest thing that I like about the people we know is like, we're human. Like it's fun. We have fun with it. We're not like those super serious. Oh, you need to do, this 50-step morning routine to wake up. You can't look your wife in the eyes, like stuff like that. Like, come on, have fun.
I'm the farthest thing from serious. I'm not even about to try to frown.
Like we're just here having fun, lifting weights, helping people have fun and live a healthy, happy life. Like there's no secret to it. There's nothing. You're not gonna rewrite the book. You're not gonna reinvent the wheel. Like you just need to learn how to connect to people, reach them at a deeper level, and just pour into them the right way to where it's going to inspire them and make them want to make change. Yeah, because a lot of people, they're just one person the whole entire time. And I get it, but you need to be able to be personable and be able to talk to different people and be able to connect to different people in different ways than you normally would that's a regular person. Like I wouldn't talk to you guys the same way I talk to my grandma. There's different people you have to connect with and talk to, and just learn how to talk to people. And I feel like I learned that a ton actually in bartending and in the service industry.
Yeah,
I know Dylan, you bartended for a little bit. I'm not sure about you, Freddie, if you're in service industry at all.
Yeah,
but
bartended for a lot of bit.
Dude, I used to be the most shy person in the world. I didn't like talking to anybody. Like I was just like quiet, shy, very reserved. And then I got thrown to the wolves in the restaurant industry. Like I had to talk to people or I was making no money. I had to be personable or I was making no money. So just being able to talk to anybody about anything at like any different time, it's just a very good skill just to have online because, you can bring that in person. You can let your personality shine through online. So that's a huge, huge skill to have.
Yeah. And too, you brought up like the people that you guys are connected with on Twitter, which I guess I am too now because Dylan's bringing me in and I'm getting to learn everyone. But when you talk to each individual person, it doesn't matter who it is, everybody has like a mission, and it's what you said. It's to make people healthier, happier, enjoy life more, like remember the basics and what they can do to accomplish that. Nobody's like, oh, I want to have millions of followers. Oh, I want to have this status. I want to have this. And it doesn't matter to anyone. They're like, no, I just want to fucking put this message out there, have people resonate with it. Let's build this shit together and have a loyal community around us instead of this like status quo of what success looks like in the social media space or industry.
Yeah, no, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like the people we have are just awesome because like I don't want 1 million followers. Like that's not appealing to me because like I don't want to have to go out in public and talk to people and like I don't even want to go to the grocery store, shop, hang out, and then have people that know me that don't even know what I do. Like when I was going home back to Jersey for Thanksgiving, I was telling everybody I was unemployed. They had no idea what I do for work, and they had no idea what I do. They're like, "Oh, you moved to Indy?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, what do you do? I'm like, "I'm just unemployed. I tweet and I look like, that's all I do." And like, I want people and I want friends that just like they don't even know what I do for work, but just having that personality and just that vibe and just like what I do just kind of shine through me and like they take interest on it and they're like, hey, like I'm interested in what you're doing. Like let's talk more, let's hang out more. So just having like a good vibe is just like the biggest thing. And just having a community, like you said, like an ecosystem of people. Just all of us kind of, feeding off each other. We all grow together. And there's really no like, competition with the people that I know personally.
Yep.
Guys, like it's like, if I know I can't fit, it's like say somebody comes to me for coaching. If I know one of my friends can serve them better, I'm gonna serve, I'm gonna send them to them because I want what's best for the person that's coming to me. I don't mind if my friend coaches them. Like, cool, you're gonna serve them better than what I can. And I know when the same thing comes to them, like if somebody comes to them for something that I'm very good at, they're gonna send them my way and vice versa. So it's like there's no real competition. Most of America is overweight, don't know what they're doing, need some sort of help. Like, there's an abundance of people that need help out there. It's just our job to find them and kind of, figure out what's best for them and kind of push them in the right direction.
Yep, that's facts.
All right, I'm just jumping into it because now I want to talk training.
I was waiting for this.
Yeah, I really want to know well, I don't want to get into the Ironman yet because I kind of want to hear like the story of like Strongman first and like what the whole transition was kind of like. But then I do want to like really break down this race and like hear it from your perspective for sure.
So Strongman, love the sport. It takes what I like and mixes it all together. I like lifting. I like being athletic. I like looking jacked, being able to do things that people aren't doing. And I tried to powerlift for a little bit. I tried to do like the bodybuilding bro split, powerlifting, what do they call it? Power building split. Yeah. I didn't like it, not for me. And I saw people doing strongman stuff and I was like, that looks cool. It looks hard, but it looks cool. So I just found, this is when I was training with Ian. We bought, a really shitty log. We bought some Atlas stones that we had no idea how to use. We bought some kegs, filled them with sand. We bought some sleds, and we're like, "Hey, we're just."
So you were like ghetto strongman out here.
Pretty much, we just tried to find very weird things to do and make it as hard as possible. So pick something up and carry it in a weird way as long as you can, and hurt yourself. So we had tires, we had Atlas stones, we had logs, we had. What else? We had kegs. We had little throw bags over your shoulders. So we were just like, we didn't know what we were doing. We were training for it, right? And we would just put together circuits and just like do them at the end of a workout. It's like we were training on like a bro split still with our training. No kind of progression, no kind of like, no real program. We'd be like, all right, we're going to do chest today. And then toss in some log press at the end or toss in some stones or like pick a random event. And so we would just do our lift and then do like a circuit to just like beat the piss out of each other at the end. Like we would do sled pushes, sled drags, tire flips. Like we would pick a couple things to do and just do it until we couldn't do it no more. And then come back the next day and do it again. So we had no idea what we were doing as Strongman. And I was like, let's find a show we can kind of train for. So at this point, we didn't really know you could like competitively even like do Strongman. We just saw some stuff online. We're like, let's just start doing different styles of training. So I got all the implements, and then I found a strongman show, and we just started training for it. So it was called New York Strongest Man. It was up in, where was it? It was maybe a half hour out of the city. I hate New York City. I don't even want to go there ever again. Like driving through it is more than enough for me. But it was good to train for. Oh, dude, it was terrible. Like, not a good time. So we trained for it, got into it, and the first show, it was a novice show. It was, it's pretty hard show. I was, I think, 18 or 19 at the time. Ian was in his 30s, and we just talked so much trash to each other the whole entire time, and it was so much fun. Like, you know how you are with your buddies. I'm sure you guys do it. Like, when you're lifting together, you're just talking so much trash, where like it makes it fun. And Ian placed first, I placed second, and I only lost him by like 1 or 2 points, and I was 12 years younger than him. So I was talking so much trash. And yeah, from then I just fell in love with it. So we found another show pretty quick. There was a charity show for I think it was for autism. It was a really good charity show. It was outside though in the rain. So it was hard. And then like strongman is like there's no glory in strongman. Like powerlifting's like, you can go to nationals, you can make money on it. It does well on Instagram. Like bodybuilding is like that's like the sexy sport. Everybody looks good and jacked. Strongman is just like, all right, like you see that boulder over there, you're gonna pick it up, you're gonna run with it, you're gonna drop it over here, you're gonna try to do it as fast as you can. And it's like there's no glory in strongman. Like if you win, it's cool, but it's like it's not like the sport where like you're gonna feel good afterwards. Like you're gonna hurt. Everything hurts. Like nothing ever feels good. Your body is shot 90% of the time. And I loved it. Like it just made me feel like a badass because nobody was doing what I was doing. I was at my strongest. I pressed 330 on the log press for a single, like overhead. That's a lot of weight. I did
a lot of weight.
Yeah, I did a 300-pound Atlas stone for 10 reps to like a 54-inch bar.
Damn.
Borderline. I think that's the hardest thing I've done in my life. That was harder than the Ironman. Dead serious. Harder than the Ironman.
Holy shit.
Did a 385 stone for 3 or 4 reps. I was doing a yoke. I did like an 800 or 900-pound yoke carry. I was carrying 385 pounds per hand for farmers carries. Like I was strong. Yeah. So it's like it's a very fun sport.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like I was strong. I'm gonna get back there. I'll get back there. I'm gonna start calling people out. I'm gonna start taking some names. But I love strongman a ton.
Same.
Oh yeah, dude. It was like it's a hard sport. Like I was hurting most days. Like it's fun, it's great, but if you want longevity, you're not going to do it in strongman. Like to reach the highest level of strongman, and this is really what I found. Kind of to segue into my transition into endurance sports. I was close to qualifying for nationals. Like I think if I won one more show, I could have qualified for nationals and like went there, done well.
What was your weight at the time?
The heaviest, the last show I did, I competed in a 231 weight class.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
But in December, so this show was in February, 9 weeks before that.
This was your big cut? Yeah.
I was 286, 9 weeks. I lost 55 pounds in 9 weeks.
Oh my God. While still keeping the muscle and strength.
Not recommended.
Not recommended at all. Very well could have died, hurt myself, got some kidney, liver, anything damaged. My pee was probably it looked like black coffee. Like it was just like not recommended at all. So there's weight classes in the strongman, and at that point I was strong. Yeah, like the strongest I ever was right before this cut. Like I was like strong. But I knew if I stayed in so the weight classes is 231 and then 275. If I stayed in that 270, very big jump. So if I stayed in that 275 weight class, like I'll be competing against guys who are cutting from like 320, 310 down to 275. Like I was going to get killed, like absolutely killed. No shot at doing well.
So you want to do the killing?
Yes. And I also wanted to see what I could do. Like I was like, all right, I can lift. I can make it happen. But can I cut weight like this and like survive almost? Like, is this possible to do it? And I remember I texted Dylan Spina that day, like the nutrition goat, literally like smartest person I know for nutrition. I texted him. I was like, "Hey, I'm doing a strongman show. You mind helping me out with my cut?" He's like, "Yeah, of course. Like, when's the show?" I'm like, "It's about February sometime." This was like first week of December. And he's like, "All right, what's the weight class?" I told him 230. He's like, "How much do you weigh?" And I'm like, told him I had 50 plus pounds to lose. And he's like, "Adam, like, I know you're gonna do it. right? I know like me telling you to not do it won't stop you from doing it. So I want to guide you through to make sure you do it healthy. As healthy as you can, like as safe as you can. So work with Dylan through the whole entire time. The last 25 or so pounds I lost in like 3 or 4 days. Yeah, it was miserable.
Freddie's face, bro. He's so shook.
God.
Yeah, it was awful. Like I'll send you guys pictures when I'm done. Like, you know, I look like a skeleton, look like a zombie.
I remember that. I remember like I've seen all this stuff before.
Bad.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that was one of the hardest things I've ever done that I think I'll ever do. Like there's a couple of days. The show was on a Saturday. No, the show was on a Sunday. I went up to Boston. It was up in Boston, about a 5-hour drive from New Jersey. The show was on a Sunday. I went to Boston up on like a Wednesday. From Thursday until Saturday morning for the weigh-ins, all I consumed was a half carton of liquid egg whites and about 1 bottle of water. Not good. So, no. Long story short, lots of sauna, lots of sweating, lots of just misery. Mike Donatelli was up there with me, saved my life. He had some weight to cut too. So we were cutting together, and it was just like awful. Like I remember the night before weigh-ins, I was still up like 4 or so pounds. And I was to the point where anytime I moved laying down in bed, I would cramp. Like my lats would cramp, my arms would cramp, like, and my heart rate wouldn't go under 110, 105, 110.
Jesus.
Like, yeah, my blood was probably like maple syrup at that point. It was just like I was so dehydrated, dying, like not good. I remember I laid in, like I went to bed at like 8. I didn't sleep all night. Like I was up the whole entire night, just tossing, turning, just like dizzy, not good. I almost called it quits a couple times. I was like, I almost called it quits. Like it was like this close. When I got up around 4 or so, and I brought a little portable sauna I had in our Airbnb. So I was sitting in that for like an hour. I got out of that, and I just sat on the couch like in a towel. I sat down just to catch my breath because my heart was so high. Next thing I knew, I was on the side of the couch, passed out, and I woke up like just as Mike had left his room to wake up. And all I see was Mike standing there just looking at me to see if I was okay. And I was just like, I knocked out. I was out.
Jesus.
Get Mike to drive me in the car to weigh-ins. So I had my car up there. He drove. I was in the passenger seat with like a trash bag on, a sweatshirt on. I was chewing gum to make me salivate so I could spit in a water bottle and try and get, some water weight out.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because I was still up about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds on the way to the weigh-ins.
Damn.
So we get to the weigh-ins early. We get there, pull up, ready to go. I go in and just like see what my weight is at, because I need to scale already, see what my weight is at. Weigh in. So like the weight you have to be is 231.9. I was like 232.9. I was like a whole pound over. And like at this point I was like, fuck, like this is not good. So I get my stuff back on. I go out to my car. I turn the heat on, and I just start like shuffling my arms in the car, trying to break a sweat. But I couldn't break a sweat because I was so dehydrated. I was just overheating. Nothing was working. Came inside, got on the Echo bike or and then the rower, tried to break a sweat. Wasn't sweating at all. I was like, I'm not going to make weight. So the official weigh-in starts. We're like the first people there, so we go first. And right as I'm about to hop on the scale, Mike saved me. He goes, Adam, take off your watch. My watch is right here. Took off my watch, right on the money, 231.9.
Holy
this is like
shit.
0.2 pounds or whatever. Like he saved me. So I made the weight
God.
on that. And I got an IV. So this is what's even crazier. I got a full like liter of IV fluids. I had a gallon of water, a gallon of Pedialyte, like 2 quarts of coconut water, and just like a couple of energy drinks and liquids throughout the day. I peed once that day. That's how much fluid.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I weighed in at 231 the day before. That after I got the IV and drank the Pedialyte, I was like almost 250. Like I gained 15, 20 pounds in like 2 hours of fluid.
Damn.
Yeah.
Holy
Bad.
shit.
Yeah. So I survived that. And honestly, I was like, you know what? I don't even care what I do. Like, I don't even care what I do tomorrow for the show. So the show I did was you get 240 or 250 log press. You go and you press that, and you had to press a circus dumbbell. So it was like a 240 to 250 log press, 150-pound circus dumbbell going back and forth for reps. I deadlifted like 600 pounds for like 7 or 8 reps, passed out. Farmer's carry, I think I hit like 375 a hand for like 30 feet. And then there's an Atlas Stone event. So I finished the event. I think I got third out of like 6 or 7 guys. So not bad at all for like almost dying the day before. And then at that point I was like, look, if I have a choice to make, I can either go all in on strongman right here and, push my body like this. And to get to the top level in strongman, your body's going to be broken down. You're going to have to hop on a cocktail of gear. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, what you put your body through just isn't worth it. So a week or 2 before, me and Mike got committed to doing the Ironman. And I was like, all right, we'll do it. This was like 2 weeks before the Strongman show. So I was dying already. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll do it. So yeah, and then segued right into Ironman training right after that. Like right after the Strongman, right into Ironman training.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is wild. I don't even know what that life is like. So like I'm sitting here, like Dylan said, just in complete awe of just what you went through to get there, and then how much fucking weight you're moving at those events.
Freddie's never had to lose a pound in his life, bro.
No, I just lost fucking 10 pounds as fun being fucking sick.
Awful. It was funny. We were in the sauna, and actually 2 stories from the sauna. The first one were these guys were in there. We're just chatting them up, talking, and like, when you're in the sauna, you didn't want to talk already, and like we really didn't want to talk, and we were like dead, like dying, and they were asking what we were doing. Long story short, they found out we're doing. They're like, oh, like, do you guys get paid to do this? And we're like, no, we paid to do this. Like,
yeah,
I paid money to do this to myself. And they're like, you guys are idiots. Like, what's wrong with you? And the second time, the next day we were there, and I was dying. I was dead. And I was in the sauna. I had no shirt on. I was in my boxers, and I was just like dripping sweat everywhere. And this guy walks in, sits near me, and he goes, you probably should just wear a towel and stop sweating everywhere. I looked at this dude, and I was like, he was probably in his 60s. I was like, I've never wanted to kill an old man before, but you might be the first. Like, it was like not good.
You might have been a little irritable.
Yeah, I gave him the death stare. It was not good. But yes, that was my last Strongman show I did. I'm doing a couple more this year, signed up for a couple. And then, so back to that. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Where are those ones going to be at? Location.
So we're looking at a couple. I want to try and keep them local to near Indy. So there's one in Wisconsin that we might do. It's a pretty cool show. They don't tell you the event until like 5 days out. So
wow.
And then there's one in Ohio. So some in Michigan. So just trying to, play my cards right and try to time them the right way. So I probably won't compete until like middle of spring, like April, May-ish. And then probably once or twice over the summer, and then maybe once in the fall. So we already have a couple endurance races on the board.
I was going to ask if you were not doing endurance anymore because of all of the strongmans you got listed.
Listen, if it was up to me, I probably would just do lifting stuff and mix endurance in there and do my thing. But I actually enjoy having both in the mix now.
All right.
It's nice. I started to train like this past week or so is the first week I really felt good. But yes, we have a half marathon, I think in January in Eagle Creek around the woods here. Okay. We're doing a ultra marathon in June in Indy. It's like a 35 or 36 mile run. We're doing the half Ironman again up in Muncie, Indiana. And then they say we're going to do the full Ironman again down in Florida. So
yeah, I've seen that floating around.
Yeah. So as you know, I'm trying to get Dylan Thacker to show up there and do it. I've been trying for a while. He was originally signed up for it. So, I mean, he can look, the thing about Ironman is you can take whatever money you paid and put it into another race. So, I mean, he has the money already out there for it.
He does.
You were trying to get me to do this one until like the day before.
No pressure. No,
dude, I was so excited. Adam asked me to use my bike because his stopped. He was riding like a bike that was not going to get him there.
I rode a mountain bike.
I was like, sweet, this is my out. They'll stop giving me shit and use somebody else's bike.
Listen. I'll still give you the honorary Iron Man stamp just for being helpful in that situation.
No, fuck that. Don't give him that shit.
I don't want it.
Don't give him that.
I don't want it.
Hey, all I'm saying is we're doing a half and a full this year. Love to have you there. Love to have anybody out there.
I'll put the half in consideration.
The half isn't hard. Like,
no, I considered it too, Dylan.
You do the half. I'll do the half.
When is it? June?
No, it's October.
Oh, we're good, bro.
Oh.
Plus, we're already doing the fucking Spartan race in May. We'll be cruising.
You should do the Spartan race with us.
When is that?
May in North Carolina.
Oh, the Ultra?
It's going to be, it's a 20K and 30 obstacles. So it's like it's not even an Ultra. They have the Ultra there, but we're doing it with two dudes.
I'll do whatever you guys are doing.
But our one friend, like, we barely convinced him to do this one. He is not endurance at all.
Yeah. So what we're doing now is this. We're doing this like little bulk challenge. Obviously, I'm fucking losing weight right now instead of gaining it. But we're doing a little competition of who can increase their deadlift, bench, squat, and we were going to do a mile run, but that kind of got thrown out. So we're doing.
I got you on the deadlift. I can give you some tips to help out to be Dylan.
Dude, even if you're not bowling, don't help him.
There's look at the bottom of this paper.
I can't see it.
It says best tips for deadlift because I obviously said I was kind of following you on social media, so that was going to be one of my things. It was like,
bro, I'm not giving any help. I'm giving zero.
Hey,
help.
Look, Freddie,
I don't want it from you. I want it from
you. Can pull more than Dylan and way less than him.
Dude, he benched 10 pounds more than me. I was pissed.
Dang, how you gonna get beat?
Yeah, I won't be come February. Trust me on that one.
We'll see. So we're doing this. So we're going to talk, Adam, with Dylan not here, just on a couple things. But so we're doing that, and it's February 10th. I think Dylan's coming out here.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. We're all going to be in North Carolina and do the lift together because they all three live there. So I'm just going out.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be fun. And then like 2-3 months after that, we're going to do the Ironman or the Spartan race.
Yeah. Don't get your fucking
Send me the info on the Spartan race, and I'll definitely look into it. I'll be in. I'd love to take a trip out east.
Got you. We'll pressure Mike into joining us too.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike will do it.
Oh, I know.
He went to school out there. He would love to take a trip.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
You guys did that, and then me and Dylan came and did the half with you guys.
I'll do a half in October. I could do that.
And look, if you do a half, I say this all the time. People say all the time, if you can do a half Ironman, you can do a full Ironman.
So I know I can. For you, man, you're lifting all this fucking heavy weight. How do you go from lifting all this heavy weight to just doing Ironmans?
Ryan
Dreyer.
Ryan Dreyer to go. He's a very, very smart coach.
He was our first guest.
Yep.
Yeah, he's one of the smartest guys I know when it comes to endurance coaching and just like really meeting people in the middle when it comes to endurance. Because there's technical ways to do it, right? And then there's also ways where like guys like us do well because you take a bunch of strength athletes who already don't really like endurance stuff, and you try and tell them to track their heart rate, track their RPMs, track all this stuff. We're not going to do it, right? So Ryan's very good at meeting you where you are and really just like making a very good plan to give you the best chance of success. Because we didn't really care about what time we got. We just wanted to finish the race.
Yeah.
And Ryan is very, very good at helping you get to what you want to do, right? He makes a very good plan. You stick to it. And he's just, the best thing that could happen to us. We would have no idea what we're doing. And he kind of made it, he took like the guesswork out of all the endurance stuff. Because if we were training before, we'd just go out and do a triathlon every week and just like see what we could do. And Ryan really gave us goals to hit, helped us with like just learning how to bike, swim, and run, and just like adding that in there. So it took a while, right? At the beginning of it, I couldn't even swim across the pool up and back without stopping.
Still can't.
Like it's hard starting off, and like you don't want to sit on a bike for an hour, 2 hours, up to 5-6 hours at a time for training. So you just started doing it. You just did it, having a good plan. And Ryan was just like a godsend. He helped us out a ton and really just showed us like the right way to do it and saved us a lot of time, kept us injury free. and help us do it.
Damn, that's just up.
Go.
Such a wild world.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. I wish that you guys would just get on here and rag the fuck out of Dylan. Every single person that's been on here that was supposed to do the Iron Man, and everyone gets on there. They're so nice and they're like, "Oh, whatever, Dylan, blah blah blah." And I wish that you would just lay it on him, but it's all right.
Let's not get it twisted here. Like, if any, Adams probably came for me the most, but Mike came for me too.
But listen, I still had hope that Dylan was going to show up on race day and just like surprise everybody. Like,
that would have been.
I thought he was just playing it off. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
That would have been some shit if I just showed up.
I'm here. Like, that would have been great. That would have been great for the brand, dude. You would have been a hero.
It would have been cool, but
that would have been desiring me to inspire.
No shit, dude. No shit.
That's all I'm saying. No, but I really respect the decision. It's a hard decision to make when.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy.
Yeah, like that's not like I respect it. Like, and you told us all, like, look, like you handled it well. Like, we're boys, we all talk shit. Like, it's
the 2 weeks before, I was getting FOMO though. I saw all you guys in Florida getting ready. I'm like, damn, man, that could be me. And then I was fun. Like,
that was really fun. But like, look,
that looked fun.
Like, just the amount of time that went into this race is just like it's a lot.
Like, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
Between the move and the time for the race, like, you got to think we were doing anywhere from 6 to 7, maybe even sometimes 8-hour training block every Saturday for like months straight. So
Jesus,
just moved to New City. We're just leaving Jersey. Friday night, I'd be in bed by like 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Wake up early, get my training done. I'm too dead to do anything after that. And then you can't really. You have no social life. You have no time to do anything.
I honestly think that if I didn't go to Arizona, that I would have done it. But being in Arizona, I had zero motivation to do any kind of training outside. And I absolutely hate running on a treadmill. Me and Joey did an Olympic there. And that day, I knew. In both of our faces, I was like, we're both quitting. Yeah. We're both fucking. And guess what? We're the only two that quit.
Yeah. Like, something as big as this race, like, you got to be, you have to want it. Like, you got to be in because, like, I'll get into it more when we talk about the actual race. Like, you break down physically, like, your brain is all that carries you to that finish line. If you have their thoughts like, oh, this is dumb, I don't want to do this, like, you have to stop and be done. Like, so you have to be in it, like, all the way, or just don't do it at all because you're just going to waste your time. Like, you don't do that.
You guys keep talking. Put on this light before the sun goes down on my ass.
Okay.
It's so darker in here.
You better pull them shorts down too there, brother. There wasn't times during it that you wanted to quit? Like prior to, like, training wise, like up into the race?
Training wise, yeah. Dude, there was a time I remember I wasn't liking it. Like, my body didn't feel good. I felt weak. I felt like, you go from a high level strength athlete, you're yoked, you're strong.
Mm-hmm.
You just feel like deflated. Like, I didn't feel as strong as I was. I felt like flabby. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror at all. And I was like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I just really was just like, went back to just why I was doing it. I was doing it to prove to guys like me, who may have, who may be bigger, may not really know what to do with endurance, may want to do something endurance wise, but like, I just went back to my why of just like, I would inspire guys like who look like me and are like me to do something that people don't really think they can do, right? You look at me, you don't think, oh, that man's an Iron Man. Like, you think, oh, he's strong.
A strong man.
So I went back to my why, and I was like, look, I'm not going to quit because, there was guys who are looking up to me. Like, I know a lot of guys who even message me during the training, after the training, so message me now. We're like, you inspire me to, like, go run my first mile in 15 years. Like, you inspire me to go walk around the block with my kids. Like, you inspire me to start going to the gym more. And it's just like, if I quit back then, like, none of that would have happened. So, I really just looked myself in the mirror and I was like, all right, like 10 years from now, do I want to look at my kids and say, oh, yeah, your dad trained for an Ironman and quit a couple months before? Or do I want to say, hey, your dad trained for an Ironman for a full year, trained with his buddies, had fun, and did something hard. Like,
yeah. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing
He was laughing at me. I knew what was happening. He was like, now he's got to tell his kids he's a fucking bitch.
But
no, that's dope because yeah, I remember like watching on social media, following Mike and them at the time, and that's kind of how I came across your stuff, is Mike posting it, and it was around the time of that Iron Man, and I mean, naturally looked at you and I was like, there's no way he's an Iron Man. That's crazy. And I started looking at your stuff. And that's why I was like, I wonder why it switched or when it switched, or like what made you even like go out of the comfort zone to even try that. Cause I'm sure at some point that you had in your head, like, hell no, I'll never do a fucking Iron Man. Like,
so how it happened, it was actually funny. Me, Zach, and Mike were on a Zoom call, just talking over some business stuff. And Zach was like, hey, I signed up for an Ironman this year with Jay. So Zach and Jay are the first people to sign up for it. And he didn't even ask me and Mike to do it. He was like, yeah, I'm doing an Ironman this year. It's going to be fun. And then no hesitation, I was like, I'll do it. And he's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, it can't be that bad. I had no idea. Like, I had no idea what an Ironman was, like, at all. I had no idea what it was. I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. I'm in. And then I signed up that night. And next morning I woke up. I was like, fuck.
Let me see what this is.
Let me see what this is. Like,
what did I sign up for?
Me on the phone. Like he kind of explained it to me on the phone and kind of like talked to us about it and like told us how long it was and everything. So I knew like that. But like, you know, when you're hyped up for something, like all logic goes out the window. So next morning I wake up. Yeah, exactly. I get, you know, I look at my phone, I see an email confirmation like, oh, congrats, you signed up for an Ironman. I was like, all right, let me sit down and go through this and see what it is. And I was like, it's gonna be a hard year. Like, I got a lot because, like, you know, I was 2 weeks out from a Strongman show. Jesus. I was strong. I was ready to go. I probably couldn't even run a mile at that time. I was already swimming and biking a little bit, but my running was awful. And I was like, all right, time to go. So yeah, that's really when it switched. It was very quick, like no thought at all. Like it was an hour phone call and I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. Like that's it.
Damn.
Dude, mine wasn't even that in depth. Mine was a fucking tweet. Mine was, he was like, I don't know why you're not doing it with us. You run. I'm like, I don't fucking swim or bike though. That was like my main thing. Like I feel like I lost my love for running. So I was like, fuck this, dude. But now, you know,
I never had a
my kids on pussy.
Bro. I didn't have a run for loving to lose.
True.
Yeah. So we did it, and yeah, I'm an Ironman. It's crazy.
How was race day? That's what I want to know about. Like,
oh man, all right. So let's start with race day. So we were in a really good groove. So the house we had was really cool. It was right maybe a mile from like the race start, the little village I had, and then transition. So it was me, Mike, Zach, Ashley, Zach's mom. We were all in the same house hanging out. My mom was down there. She was staying with her aunt, and then Mike's mom was down there as well. So the whole team was down there. It was super fun. So we were in a really good groove. Like we were getting up at like 4 a.m. daily for the week and a half before that. Just getting used to getting up, getting some food to us and going. So we were doing that. And then, yeah, so we get up and get to the drive over to the race, get in. And we were very calm, but you could tell there's like a very nervous energy in the air, right? Everybody around you is like snapping at some of the volunteers. Everybody's rushing around. Like, it's just like, triathletes are very hit or miss. Like, there's some really cool ones. I think in our little circle we have some of the only cool triathletes in the world, honestly.
I think it's because it's like such a expensive sport. Like people got like this mentality about it, like, oh, I'm a triathlete. I'm like, relax.
You can do whatever you want. Like, calm down. Like you have money for a nice bike and you gotta work half as hard as me riding a mountain bike. Like, cool. Calm down. But yeah, so race morning was awesome. You know, we get all of our stuff done. People are stressed. We're not. We get all of our stuff ready to go. We got our wetsuits on. All of our transitions are set up, and we walk down to the beach. The whole team's kind of hanging out there, sitting on some of the dunes, and just like kind of looking around, like, all right, like we're here. Like, we got to do it now. So it was like nervous energy, but like good nervous energy on our end.
How was the water like when you guys were waiting? Was it pretty choppy or was it pretty calm?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't really looking at the water much. I was just kind of just like,
I'd have been zoned in. Like, what the fuck?
I wasn't really focused. I was kind of just like hanging out, just like, all right, we're here, kind of just like trying to take the moment in a little bit.
Probably a
And
better
it
way
was
to be.
cool because, like, yeah,
Yeah.
like our whole gang was kind of around each other. Like me, Louis, Mike. Louis a badass dude. He's like
Yeah.
the elder of B team. So I know you guys probably see B team a lot on Twitter and whatever. He's like the elder of B team. So we were all sitting there in a little huddle. Zach told Louis to give us a little hype up speech. Louis hyped us all up. That saved me. That kind of like centered me a little bit. And he really stressed, just like go out there, have fun. Like he's done a bunch of races before. We never did an Ironman, but he's done 100-mile races. He's done like some big races. And he pretty much stressed, like, look, the best races I've had are the ones that I smile and have fun during. And that was really the biggest focus. Like start the race with a smile and finish with a smile. So get going, get to the start, and dude, my heart is racing. I'm like, all right, we gotta go. So they blow a little whistle. There's a little beeper that tells you when to go, and I'm in the water. I'm going. You could probably walk out a good 100 yards before you actually have to start swimming. So I just take it really slow and dive on in. And first thing that happens, get kicked in the side of like the head. People are kicking everywhere, and it's just chaos. Like it's just all over the place. And yeah, like the swim course, like big. Like if like looking at it now, it's like, how did I do that? Like when you're in it, you're like, all right, cool, we just got to do it. But like, looking at it now, it's like it's a big course. And it kind of felt like you were swimming in like an aquarium almost, because like there's jellyfish everywhere. People saw a shark.
I saw Jay said he saw a shark. Dude, that alone, I think I would have just tapped out. Like I'm good.
Dylan doesn't even like cats.
Facts, dude. I don't fuck with like animals and stuff. I'd have been freaking out. That was my dogs are like the only one in that I've came a long way. Didn't used to be that way.
He hated all animals.
Jellyfish, like awful. I got stung a bunch of times, like in the arms, back of the neck.
Scratch what I said about doing a half this year. Scratch it off.
No, dude, the half in Muncie is in a reservoir. It's not even the ocean.
Okay.
There ain't no jellyfish in the reservoir.
Oh wait, a half Ironman?
Yeah.
I thought you meant a half marathon. Yeah, I ain't doing an Ironman.
Jellyfish are everywhere, fish everywhere, feet flying. It's just chaos in the water, right? And the water is very choppy. So I have very bad motion sickness. Like I get really nauseous. It doesn't help that it's salt water, and I don't know how to swim very well, so I'm sucking in water the whole time. I'm nauseous. But like halfway through the first lap, it's 2 laps. I was like dizzy, nauseous. Like I hear people puking, like yelling. Like it's a war zone out there. It's awful. Keep on going. First lap of the swim gets done, and I'm hurting. Like I'm nauseous. Feel like I want to puke. But like everybody's on the shore, happy, hyping you up. So I'm like, I gotta smile. Look, I'm doing the best. So I'm just like, I run because you have to get out and run across the shore. So like I saw my mom, saw everybody there. Austin Keith and Aubrey were there. Barefoot Will, he was there. Yep. So they saw us, and like I'm running across, smiling, having a good time. I was dying on the inside, bro. I was dizzy, about to puke, awful. So get back in the water for the second lap, and I just like doggy paddle the second lap, because like anytime I try to regular swim, I get super nauseous, and I'm like, if I puke, I'm done. Like I can't puke, so I'm just going. So the swim took me like an hour and 40 something minutes. Not a bad pace at all.
Not bad.
Yeah, not a bad pace at all. Finish the swim, and then it's like a mile run from like the swim end to like the bike start. So it's like
that's wild. Let's throw a mile in here.
Suck, dude. Like
an extra wet, mile, soggy stuff.
Yeah, like usually like your transitions are supposed to be like quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I think I had a 28-minute transition between the swim and the bike. I was taking my time, bro. I took my time. I went, got my wetsuit off. They had a little shower there to like get like the salt water off you. And I don't want any salt water like up anywhere. Like I did not want that because then I would chafe off of it. None of that. So get that done. Hop on the bike. I have my Camelback. I have probably 10,000 milligrams of salt in there. There's some electrolytes. I use little LMNT packets. My Camelback is water, salt, electrolytes in there, and then I have a couple of different bottles with like carb supplements. I have like one of these with like carbs in there. So I'm ready to rock. I'm on the bike going. 3 miles in, I feel a giant splash go down my back. I'm like, I'm just probably sweaty or something. My Camelback popped. My Camelback broke. So I'm like, that's not good. Luckily, I had packed a bunch of extra salt packets with me in my bike, in my little bike bag. It was fine, but it sucked because I had to stop at every single aid station. So they have aid stations every 20 miles or so. I had to stop at every single one, get new water, fill up a water bottle full of salt. It took me like 3 or 4 minutes at every aid station to, load back up and get going. And I was dehydrated, bro. It was like awful. I got
Were you really on a mountain bike?
No,
he borrowed
I got
someone's.
to use, yeah.
Oh.
In Muncie, I had the mountain bike. Legendary. Okay. People call me Mountain Man. And then they had flat tires. Like the tires were flat the whole entire time. I had to stop and pump my tires up every aid station. It was miserable. It was a mess. Not a good time. So the Ironman, I get to mile like 55, 56, like halfway through, and like my body is shot. I'm so dehydrated. I'm cramping. Like
at least you trained for being dehydrated with that whole cut you did. You're used to it.
Dude, I was more dehydrated after the Ironman than after that cut.
Holy shit.
So on the bike, and like once you get dehydrated, like in endurance training and like in a race, it's hard to catch up. Like you want to stay on top. Like, I'm dead. Like I get on the bike, miserable. Like my lower back is.
Did you piss on the bike or did you get off?
I didn't piss once during the whole entire race. That's how dehydrated I was.
Oh my God.
You're supposed to piss like once an hour on the bike at least. I didn't piss once. I pissed in my wetsuit when I was standing on the shore, which everybody pissed in their wetsuit. Like,
yeah, I wasn't going to judge you, bro.
Like, I piss my wetsuit all the time, keeps you warm, fills you up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pissing your pants is cool in endurance sports, I'm telling you. So yeah, get on the bike. I'm so dehydrated. Like I see my mom, Zach's mom, Ashley, Mike's like standing there, like as I'm going out into the run, like, let's go. I'm like, I have not peed once and I am dehydrated. All my water like is gone. And they're like, all right, like let's like they're like, all right, like, all right, like whatever, cheer me on, go. So I start the run and bro, I am hurting, right? And you get done a 2.5 mile swim, you feel good. You're like, all right, cool. All I gotta do is a 112-mile bike ride. Get done that. You get done 112 miles in the bike, and you're like, God, I just gotta run a marathon now. Like it's like 26.2-mile run. Like God. The most I ran in training was I think 14 miles. So Jesus. And that was on fresh legs. That wasn't even after the bike. So my legs are already shot, my body's already shot, and I gotta run 26.2 miles and time to go. So I get out there on the run course, and I'm just like slow kind of walk running same time.
Where's your mind at this point?
My mind was pretty much like, look, I got 17 hours to finish this race. I'm gonna get my money's worth and go all 17 hours probably. So right. I was like, look, like pretty much my whole mindset for this whole entire thing was I knew it was going to hurt physically, and it was going to be a mental push. Right. So my only focus during the run was to not let my emotions get the best of me and just keep it on straight, keep focused. Like, I don't care how my body feels. My body was already shot. Like, I did not care what my body felt like. I was like, look, I can't control my body right now, but I can control where my brain goes. And that was my only focus. Keep my brain strong, stay focused, zone out everything that's around me. Cause like people were like, it was zombie land out there. People were dropping like flies.
Damn.
So starting to run, maybe like the half-mile mark. Jay comes by me, Jay Azeltine, and he's crushing it, right? He's been training for this forever. He blew out his knee a couple years ago. I'm like, dude, absolute legend for this. Like, he's one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. And he's cruising by me. He sees me, and like at that point, I'm kind of walking. Like, I'm just kind of trying to get my feet underneath me, and like we started talking really quick because he takes a quick minute to walk, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk, try to catch up with the lady. He's like, no, like, you're gonna run with me right now. I'm like, shit. He's like, yeah, like we're going now. Let's start running. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna start running. And, like my leg, like I was dead, but I was like, I just go. So we ran at probably like a 12-minute pace for like maybe the first 2.5 miles, maybe 3 miles. And that saved me, honestly. Seeing Jay at the start, seeing my friends throughout the race, like it saved me a ton because Jay's an awesome guy, so positive. Like, even in the middle of an Ironman, he's still there lifting you up, just like keeps me centered, and just was like, we talked about it a lot. We just talked, like, I honestly forget what we talked about, but I know it kind of comforted me. and kind of kept me going forward. So he kind of peels off and goes. He crushed it. He finished with a really good time too. And how the race was set up was you had to go out and back. It was a half marathon, and you go out and back again. So like you were able to see your friends coming back and forth like a couple of times. So throughout the race, just like seeing everybody, seeing Mike, seeing Dylan, seeing Dak. I didn't see Dryer because I think he finished before he even started the run. Honestly, like he was fine, bro. He was gone. Jesus. Seeing like Louis, seeing Brandon Luttrell, seeing Matt Izzo, who else? There's just people that you see on the course you recognize. It's just like good high five, like keeps you in high spirits, like and you don't want to look like you're like dying, like when you see your homies. You want to be like, all right, like I'm fine, like we're having fun. So we're going and going through the race. About every mile or so, they have an aid station. So how it's set up is like there's a bunch of tables for maybe like 5-10 yards, maybe even more. And it's going to be water or ice, then water, then Gatorade. In the middle, I'll have like snacks and stuff. And then it goes like Gatorade, ice, and then water to the tail end. So every time I go to an aid station, I'll grab water. I'll grab 2 waters, dump on my head, grab ice, dump it down the back of my shirt, grab a Gatorade, sip on it. And the same as that thing on the back end, I'll grab another Gatorade and hold, dump the ice, maybe dump water on me, just to try to get my body temperature down because I was still really dehydrated. So going through, run goes well. I'm walking at the same time. Got to the point where I was like walking almost faster than I could run. I was walking like a 13.5-minute mile pace, which is like pretty solid. I kind of equated to like, you ever been like Black Friday shopping and you see like that like mom walk? I was throwing my arms, throwing my hands, but I was getting into it. But like I was walking, like my bicep got sore because I had my water bottle, and I was like going hard. Like, it was very good fast walking, like very good fast walking. So I was doing that for a little bit, and so first half goes well. I see everybody throughout there, and how it is like you go up back. The halfway point is like you can see the finish line. You can hear everybody cheering, and you're hyped up, and you're like, shit, I got to do a half marathon. Like it sucks. You're like all hyped up, and you got to turn back around and go back out and back again.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, time to go. So I'm going. Mile 14, mile 15, mile 16 goes, and I'm doing well. I'm kind of jogging, walking, making decent pace, and I get to mile 17 or so. And at that point, I think I see Dylan Spina. He was the last person I think I saw from our team. I saw Dylan. He kind of, encouraged me a little bit, pumped me up. And that's the last I saw anybody I knew until the finish line. And there's mile 17 to 20. And then 20 to 26, like those are the hardest miles of the whole entire day. Bro, I was like, in some deep waters there. Like that was the deepest waters I've been in. So mile 17 through 20, I was incredibly dizzy, like super dizzy. Not like a good dizzy. Like I don't even know if there's a good dizzy, but like I'm like something's wrong dizzy. Like I was like flushed. Like I started getting like chills. Like I wasn't sweating as much. I was just like bad. And I was just trying to, get myself going all the aid stations, trying to get a little bit of food in me. I grabbed a banana here and there. They had like some broth you can get. So I tried to get whatever I could into me. And mile 19 and a half or so, I'm like delirious, like dizzy, like everything's spinning, like feel like I'm going to black out. Get to mile 20 or so. It's like the turnaround at the end to come back. And it's, there's like I think it was sponsored by Red Bull. So it's a big Red Bull arch with like the bulls on it. And I wish somebody got a picture of this because it was probably like pretty funny. But at it, like I dizzy, turn around, get through the arches again, and I'm like hands over my knees, puking everywhere, just like all over the place, like just puke everywhere. I'm dying, like I'm like.
You really don't want to pee during this race.
No, like I was dead. I was. That was a dark point of my life, and I'm puking 2 or 3, 4 really good heaves. And the guy, like one of the guys who's kind of like facilitating the race, was like one of the aid people. He comes over, starts patting me on the back. He's like, you're doing great. Like, you're doing all right. Like, we'll get you back to the finish line. Like, come hop over in this little, golf cart we got. Like, get you some fluids and it'll be good. I'm like, he's patting me on the back, kind of walking towards there. I'm like, I don't push him hard, but I kind of shove him away from him. I'm like, don't touch me. He's like, well, you got you got an hour and a half left or so to finish 6.5 miles. Like, can you do it? And I'm like, I literally said, you don't fucking know me. Watch me.
Let's go. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, like he looked at me like weird because like, this was the tail end of the race, right? There's not many people behind me. I finished fifth to last in the race.
Okay.
There's not many people behind me. They're packing up all the stuff, like all the aid stations. Like when I run by the aid stations, there's literally one table and like a half-empty water bottle on the table. And they're like, grab it if you want it. And they're like, not even paying attention to you. Like it's just like, this is like truly just like no.
Bro, I was watching the app the whole day and I was getting very nervous. I'm like, come on, Adam.
Everybody was.
I was like, everybody's already finished. Like he's getting close. I'm fucking watching. I was sweating for you, dude.
Yeah. So at the end of the race, all the aid stations are shut down. I just puke everywhere. This dude just tried to pull me off the course. I'm already dehydrated. I have an hour and a half left or so, or hour, I think it was an hour 25 or hour 30, whatever. And I have to run 6.5 miles. And that's faster than really what I've ran the whole entire, like by far.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, I didn't train 8-9 months to not finish.
To tell my kids.
To tell my kids.
That
to tell Dylan's kids that I didn't finish along with him. Right? So I'm there. I'm like, look, I'm going to just give it hell, give it all I got. And I don't care what time I get. I'm going to finish this course. Like, I'm not going to not finish. If I finish past 17 hours, it sucks. I don't count it as a finish, but I still finish the course. So that's what I'm thinking at the time. Yep. I'm like, all right, I got to go. I got to finish the course. I'm just going to give it hell. You know, I've trained for 8-9 months for this. I just got to do an hour and a half now as hard as I can go. So I turn my brain off, and all I'm thinking in my head is just finish. All I was saying in my head was finish, 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 whole entire time. Got my breathing down, focused on my breathing, and just got a good stride and just go. And I'm going, dude. I'm taking solos in the back half of this run. All the old people that were talking trash, going past them.
Oh yeah,
not having fun. But it was really. I don't even know how to explain it. Like you just see what can happen to a person when they're broken down that bad. Right? I've never seen people broken down that much physically or mentally. Like grown men on the side of the road, literally in the fetal position, like sobbing, crying, like guys like walking sideways, like people like crawling, like trying to get further on. Like they're like 5 miles out from the finish and they're still crawling. Like you're not going to make it, but you're pushing. Like these people in like the deepest waters possible. And, you know, it's just hard to see. Like, it's just like, it's like zombie land. People are dropping like flies. People are dropping out. 2 people actually passed away during the race, which is really sad. God
Holy shit.
Yeah. So it's just like, I didn't know that happened a lot yet. 2 people passed.
Me either.
And it's just like, dude, people are like, they're putting like their life on the line out there for this race. And it's just like, it's inspiring to see how far people will go and just the grit that they have. Like, cause at that point, dude, your body's just broken. Like your body's done. Everything is shot. And it's just all mental fortitude right there. Right. So you just got to tell yourself, I'm not going to stop. So I get going. I'm at mile 24 or so, 24 and a half. And I'm down bad, dude. I'm dying. Like, I'm like, not having a good time. I'm struggling. And all I hear is Louis Bervolo. He was with us. And I hear him just like yelling for me. He's like, Adam, come on. Let's go, Adam. Let's go. He's yelling for me. And he pulls up next to the side of me. I'm kind of like shuffling, walking, running. He's like, look, I don't care what you got to do. You know, I probably had 2 or so miles left and about a half hour left to finish. So I think in good pace at 15-minute miles each mile. And he's like, look, I don't care what we got to do. We're going to get you to the finish line. Like, I don't care if I got to run. I don't care if I got to drag you. Like, we're going to get you across that finish line no matter what we got to do. So for about a mile or so, Louis paces me. He has his watch on me. I have my watch on me trying to pace myself. But, like, it helps having somebody there that, like, pushes you. So
yeah,
I think he was either up in his hotel hanging out in bed or at the finish line. Like, he came out, he already finished an Ironman. He didn't have to do that, right? So he came out and found me on the course and was like, look, you can't be the only one to not finish. Like, we're going to get you across that finish line. We're going to do it. So it was really cool to see. And then I get about a half mile out, and I hear Zach yelling. Zach's yelling, like, you know how he is. He's like, you gotta push, you gotta go. Like, he's yelling, like, he's like, you got like 10 minutes, you gotta fucking go, like yelling, like hyping me up. And that was just what I needed at that time. So I got Louis running next to me. I got Zach running next to me. I forget who was with me. I think Ashley was running. I think Brandon's wife was running.
That's awesome, dude.
I got
Ryan
goosebumps.
Dreyer's wife, Chelsea, was running. Ryan's mom was running next to me. Just like everybody who was out there about a quarter or half mile from the course was just like yelling for me. And they all started running with me. And I see Mike out there. Like everybody's just like, they all just did an Ironman race and they're out there trying to find me and like they're running towards the finish line with me. I was like, I gotta finish. I gotta go. So running. And yes, they guided me towards like, so how it was set up, it was like a big main strip. And then you turn onto like a little strip where there's a bunch of shops and the finish line right there. They run me to where the little turn is and they're like, you just gotta go. Like beginning of the race, I was thinking like, hey, maybe I might just like walk down the last strip and just like take in that moment and whatever. But like I didn't have time for that. Like I had to go. Like I was like, no walking anymore. Adam, you're gonna go. So I'm going. And it's cool how they set up like the last finish line part because it's like you see the little strip and like the carpet there, but it's like it is so bright. It's like a giant light bulb. Like I didn't know if I was dying, if I was like, you know,
going towards the light.
I just saw a bright light and I was like, I'm either dying or I'm gonna finish this race. Like one of the two. So I'm going. I crossed the finish line and man, like I get chills talking about it. It's just like it was incredible. Like that moment was awesome.
How many minutes do you have to spare?
I had 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to spare.
Dude,
crazy,
good
dude.
fucking shit. What a story.
So I did it. I finished. If I peed once, I wouldn't have finished. So not peeing was good. And yeah, so the whole team was already there. Like everybody stayed, which was awesome. Like
that's dope.
People think triathlon's like, you know, a one-man sport, you know, and it is. You know, nobody's gonna bike or run or swim for you, but like it's a team sport where like everybody there wanted everybody to finish. Right? Everybody hung around. We're all encouraging each other. Everybody who was there was awesome. Like the whole entire team we had. I can't even thank everybody enough for like just encouraging us. Like they always found us at like the right spots when we needed it. And having my mom there was awesome. That was the first time I saw her since moving to Indy. Super special. So it was just like really special moment. And yeah, got my medal. Saw everybody, and it was just like, it's like, wow, like I did it. And then I sat down, and I was like, everything hurts. Like, this, everything's dying. So I was still super dehydrated, actually, too. So I tried to go over to the medical tent because, you know, they do all the pictures and whatever. We got all the pictures done. We all hung out, hugged everybody, and whatever. And it's an awesome moment, dude. I was crying. Everybody was happy. Like, it was incredible. Like, I wish you could just bottle up that feeling and, like, save it forever.
Yeah.
But so I go over to the medical tent and I'm like, look, I haven't peed once in this race. Like, I'm dehydrated. Like, can I get like they had IVs there and everything. So I was like, can I get an IV? Like, whatever. And they're like, no, like we can't give IVs if you can drink fluids. Like, I'm like, I literally haven't peed in like 18 hours.
18 hours.
Give me an IV, please. And they're like, well, like we can't because you could probably drink fluids. I'm like, I can't drink any fluids right now.
Watch me.
And I can't drink enough
we just saw you over there
for 18 hours.
Yeah, so I tried to lie, and they're like, we just saw you over there drinking Gatorade. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I had to sit there. They didn't let me leave for like 35 minutes, and I was just like, not a good time. They like monitor me and like whatever. I was like, yeah, I'm not having fun. And then so I went back home. Got back to the house at like 1:30 in the morning. Got a shower, went back upstairs, hung out with the guys for a little bit, and then went to sleep. And like, dude, I was sore the next day. Tell you what.
How many days that last?
Body soreness, probably 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then I had like, then my immune system was like, my body was like shot for like, honestly, until this week. It's been over a month.
That's crazy, dude.
Jesus.
Like, So I'm starting to finally feel better. My immune system finally feels good. But yeah, dude, it was just like incredible. Like I didn't like when I first started doing a race, like I didn't think it was possible. Like when I first started training for this, I was like, you know, something will come up. I want to do it. Like I didn't think I was gonna actually have to do it. Like, I was like, yeah, but we did it. an Ironman, got my medal, and get the tattoo soon. I got to see where I want to get it.
Oh,
But it's just cool to like finish a race like that and just like show people like it doesn't matter like what you think you can do, until you try it. Right? There's guys who are my size, guys who are like me, my background. Like, dude, I was 320 pounds 4 or 5 years ago. Like now I'm an Ironman. Like it's crazy to think like what you can do if you just train for it, you just do it. So giving guys who are like kind of like me, similar background to me, like good, as inspiration to like look towards. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm proud of you. You did what I couldn't do,
You did it.
But
you were there in spirit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a powerful story, man. And I mean, right there alone, tells a testament to this like company brand that you're building, because like you're living through the things that you're trying to help other people live through or conquer or whatever. And even if it's not an Iron Man, they know like, okay, this guy knows what discipline is. They know mindset, all of this stuff that gets you to the finish line. So there's so many different avenues and stories that you can take and illustrate that story to different things in their lives to show your value and your worth to them. So that way they trust you enough to put their situation in your hands to help them solve it, which is, I mean, a testament to you and, what you strive for in the world. So again, congrats on that finish. But yeah, 2023 sounds like it's gonna test your body.
Jam-packed, bro. Jam-packed.
A lot more. Now it's like doing both. So
yeah,
I want to do the Ironman a little bit faster this year. And I want to compete in a couple strongman shows. Ideally, biggest goal is to qualify for strongman nationals. Okay. I probably won't go, but just qualify. Say, look, I'm a nationally qualified strongman, and I did Ironmans. Like that'd be pretty cool. That's the biggest goal. Doing that, and then just like continue to grow the brand and just show people like anything is possible. Like I don't care what you think you can do, what you've done before. Like if you have the drive, if you have the want for something bad enough, like literally anything you want to do is possible. That's really the biggest thing that I got from this is like nobody thought I could do it. I mean, people that I knew thought it, but like looking at me, people are like, "Oh, you're not going to do Ironman, are you?" Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you train and you put the work in every day, and you have a goal in mind, if you work towards it and you push towards it, and you have the mindset of like, "Look, I'll die before I don't do this." Like that was my mindset. Like anything you want to do is possible, and it's just like it shows. Like you can literally do anything you want if you work towards it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well,
that's dope, man. I've enjoyed this.
I was about to say this is by far our longest podcast yet, so you got that too.
Yeah.
Love it. Anything's possible. Look at this.
That's already what it's gonna be titled. I've been thinking about it already.
Sick.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you jumping on, telling your story. And I know that to all of our stories, there's deeper reasons why we do everything. So hopefully as we continue to grow the relationship and either you guys come out here to North Carolina or Dylan and I, we're definitely going to come out to Indy. It's just a matter of when we do that.
Come out.
I'm probably going in March, by the way. I already talked to Adam about it, but I was going to tell you, but I know you got stuff going on in March.
Yeah, if it's the beginning, I'll be able to go. The end, I'll be out of the country, so I won't be able to.
Whenever you guys want to come out, let me know. I mean, my apartment isn't super big, but if you need a place to crash, I got an air mattress, got a couch.
Yeah, we could cuddle, bro.
Yeah, it's good.
Dope. Well,
it can't be any more packed than that cabin out here.
That's facts, dude. That was
Colorado. Yeah,
rough,
they had a lot of guys.
We had I felt like 30 people in the little house. It was
God,
awful.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, sign us out, Dylan.
I thought you were signing us out.
Oh, I can. Well, Adam, again, appreciate it. Love the story, man. Everyone, as always, remember, have the desire to inspire. Tell your story because there's somebody out there that needs to hear it. So that way they get motivated to get over that hump that they are stuck on right now. And so, again, share your truth, share your why, and always stick to it. Appreciate y'all. Is on.
Peace.
Thanks for having me, guys. Peace.